Hello YouTube, welcome to Curious Me channel. This is Shabazz Khan, and in this video we'll be talking about stored procedures. I mean how to create stored procedures, modify them and alter them or delete them. So before going to that, let us discuss what are stored procedures, okay? So what is a stored procedure? Well, simply put, a stored procedure is a set of SQL statements which we write and save in the SQL server itself. And while saving that stored procedure, we assign it a name so that we can use that name to call this procedure again and again. Okay, so not only that, using that name, any program can access that stored procedure and make changes to the database. So let us understand that practically. So this is the table that I'm using. The name of the table is user role. It has three columns: ID, name, and role. ID is an auto incremented column with a difference of 1. So this is a very simple statement: select all from user role. So this is the data inside the role. So what I want to do is I want to create a procedure which will call this line. Okay, so how can I do that? Is by writing create, sorry, writing create procedure, and then the name of your procedure that you want to create. Let us name it my procedure. All right, then as begin, and then the code you want to write. I want to execute this line and then N. That's it. Once you are done, just select all of this and then press execute. So this will execute and create a procedure named my procedure. Now you can use this procedure to run this line how many times you want. For example, execute, the name of my procedure is my procedure itself. So go ahead and execute it. See what it did. It executed this line of code. Okay, so this was how you can create a procedure. All right, but in a procedure you can do many things. You can do conditional statements, you can do loops, all those things. So let us, you know create our procedure to take in some input and give output accordingly. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So this is the stored procedure which I have already created. Now I want to modify it. So how can I modify the stored procedure? Is by removing this create with alter. Simple as that. See, alter procedure, my procedure. Then what I want to do is I want to pass a parameter. So how can I expect a parameter is by declaring uh, my variable. So what variable will I declare is up to me. So I can declare ID. Okay, so what is ID? What type of variable will be ID? So I want to say I want an integer type. Okay, simple as that. Now inside this begin and end statement, I can use this ID. So how can I use this ID? Is like this: if ID is not equal to, okay, what I'm saying here is if ID is not equal to, how I can say if ID is greater than 0. Okay, I want to say that select all from a user role where ID, the name of the column ID, is equals to the ID that I have passed. All right, okay. Now if if ID is not greater than 0, then what I want to do is I want to select everything and pass. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this or cut it and then place it in here. All right, so basically this code says that if I have passed an ID, okay, which is greater than 0, then select that ID from the table and give the output. But if that ID is not greater than 0, that means select everything from the table and then give the output. All right, so let us run this from here. So here, now this will alter my procedure. Okay, so execute. Now my existing stored procedure is modified. So what will happen when I will execute this line? It will throw an error. Why? Because see, it says that procedure or function my procedure expects parameter id, which was not supplied. So we need to pass in a parameter. So let's pass a parameter. Simply put a space here, and then you can pass your parameter. For example, I'll pass a parameter of 2. Okay, now let's go ahead and execute this line. See, I got the input of, I got the row which has the id 2. Now what will happen if I pass in -1? So it should return everything. Similarly, if I'll write 0, it will also return everything, because it is 0 is equal to 0. Okay, but what will happen if I pass 1? It will return a row which has a value id of value 1. Okay, so this is it. So this is how you can modify your procedure using alter. Okay, and this is a basic example of how you can pass in a parameter. You can pass two parameters if you want. See, suppose you can pass, I want to pass name. Okay, I want to pass name and varchar, and that will be of 100. Whatever, I mean, it totally depends upon you what size of you want. If id is greater than 0, I'm saying if id is greater than 0 and name is not equals to empty character. All right, so this is simple, where id equals to this and name equals to at the rate name. Okay, so now I have two parameters. Again, I'll modify this. It will modify this. Now I have passed in 1. So what is the name of 1? I'll have to check it because I forgot what was the name. Okay, it expects two parameters, so let us pass in another parameter, Mr. X or something. I don't know if the name is Mr. X. Let's run it. Yes, the name was Mr. X. So this is it, guys. uh, that's how you make, okay, that's how you make or modify stored procedures, and you can store this piece of code in the database. So where it is stored, let me just show you where it is stored. So it is stored, say, this is my database and the table is user role. So in here, if we go to programmability, there is a stored procedure, and you will see my stored procedure, my procedure. All right, so there it is stored, and you can use that stored procedure again and again. And you can also access this stored procedure, I mean, you can run this stored procedure from your server side codes also. So what it does is it reduces the, I mean, it increases the reusability of your code. Okay, so this is it, guys. I hope you understand. Okay, one more thing, sorry. One more thing is, how can you drop a procedure? All right, so to drop a procedure, you just write drop procedure and the name of your procedure, my procedure. All right, and then what it will do is, okay, sorry, it will just drop this procedure. Command completed successfully. Now if I try to execute my procedure, Mr. X, it will throw an error. It will say that could not find stored procedure, my procedure. Okay, so that's how you create, modify, and drop and execute your stored procedure with parameters and all those things. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video, and have a great day ahead.